I did that customer service department and they were lying to the customers. And I said, man, we can't do that. We have to be honest. I did a lot of things to make them the number one.
Welcome to Unstoppable Podcast with Harry Sardinas, inspiring conversations with influential millionaires, investors, thought leaders, entrepreneurs who are making a massive difference with their innovative products and services, and sharing the challenges and wisdom of how they sold their first million.
How would you like to achieve your first million? And today we have Rikki Lee Travolta, and his expertise is amazing because without celebrity endorsement can get you really far in business. So, Ricky, tell us, what are the 5 steps that you recommend to entrepreneurs in order to achieve the first million?
5 steps. Oh, I would say the first thing beyond everything else is Otherworld Computing. I turned that into a $583 tech lead. And when Larry O'Connor approached me, he had secret meetings because in his dad's office, his dad had office space down the street at Shamrock Industries or something, Shamrock something. And he had meetings with me because he had the label lying, and that's not a nickname anyone wants to have. And so I was willing to just kind of give me anything in order to come on. And ownership, and I did great. I turned it into the amazing tech leader. But the thing that I really expressed to Larry in all the meetings before I ever went to the main office was we have to focus on the truth. It wasn't something I stipulated with just Larry. And it wasn't just for his nickname line, Larry, but it's, and anytime in business, you have to be truthful. Because if you're just focused on the quick buck, you're going to, can I say, screw your customers over. They're not going to be your customer. You're trusted. But if you're truthful and you stand behind your brand, and at the end of the day, you are your brand, then you're going to build customers for life because they're going to trust you. And maybe they'll even love you. Because the same thing, company that I'll make famous, Empire Today, #1 flooring company. And I did that. I did that in less than a year. Statistically, would have taken anybody else 10 to 20. I'm high functioning autistic, so I do things different. But I did that customer service department and they were lying to the customers. And I said, man, we can't do that. We have to be honest. I did a lot of things to make them the #1. And I've made a lot of companies. But the same thing applies to the fun stuff I do, which is Hollywood celebrity endorsement partners. And so, like I said, hang out with the rock stars, the Hollywood stars. And what am I building for them? Celebrity brands, turning into multi-stream, long sources of revenue, thus creating generational wealth. You're paying out money for your publicist and your lawyer and your accountant, and you're not making any money. If you turn a brand with somebody like myself, Hollywood celebrity endorsement partners, other great people, I just happen to be really good at generational wealth, where not only do you get to retire when you want to, or you get to do the problem, but your grandkids, they're making money. And that all, how are you connecting to your fans? A business, I'm creating customers for life. A rock star, a Hollywood star, I'm creating fans. I turned Steven Adler's career around from Guns N' Roses fame. He's now a rock and roll hero. And people had a different view of him before. Bad things were said by other people. And I will tell you, Steven Adler's one of the coolest dudes. Focus on that, creating a celebrity brand. And then, I just make somebody famous. I talk to products that we can endorse or put our name on, and newsletters, albums, put your name on, not just an artist, but as a producer, because then you're lending your brand to another brand in that brand. But if you tie it in contractually, so you're having part of that revenue stream, it all comes down to the truth. Okay. So Empire today, bunch of contracts. And so that's like multi-million, multi-billion, because Steve Silvers, the president, was late after a lot of really illegal things happened. Steve Silvers, the guy who made the deal, me and David Lenowitz and Steve Silvers was sued by Empire Today for, I think it was 15 million, 25 million for embezzlement. So their star witness in this, multi-billion dollar potential here is somebody they sued for multiple millions for. And what is fraud? Lying. The truth. The truth. The truth. Okay. So number 2, I'm going to say realize key words. Okay. It's not what you want to say. It's what people want to hear, but do it truthfully. Don't lie and tell people what they want to hear if it's not true, but figure out what of your brand, what of you fits what they want. And so I could go through your house, Harry, and I could point to products that I've named, and I named them in such a way that you bought them because I thought of the key word you would associate, because there's a psychology to it. And that's where the autism is in Steve Jobs' superpower for me, because I think different. And different doesn't, okay, I am disabled. I have the other end of autism for me. There's a lot of different varieties of autism, but man, everybody across America, everybody across the world, everybody's the best at something. Everybody's perfect in my mind because God made you that. Everybody is the best. My mind works different. I'm disabled. I'm super high function. I can $10 deals while I'm cooking breakfast, but I can't work one of these. It's called executive function disorder. I have to have an assistant. Legally, I have to have one. And the next tip comes in: teamwork. Without an assistant, I'm like a man without a wheelchair. Okay. But with an assistant, hundreds of millions of dollars while making breakfast. And so everything is teamwork. It just has to be 2 people. I mean, my wonderful partner, Deborah Swinford, she was my 30 years before we got into business together. And she's one of the most brilliant business minds I've ever experienced. I'm the creative guy. She does the taxes, the payroll records. She does the editing. I've written bestsellers. My Fractured Life, my first book, bestseller that Heath Ledger wanted to star adaptation. And again, man, God, it would have been a great film. The TV and film rights back. Port McGee Pictures, Dan Riley, Peter J. Clark. And that we go ahead and produce that with the young hot star, but teamwork. So individual company, Hollywood's partners, or our parent company, Entertainability Group, that Deborah and I founded. And gosh, she's so good. And I'll tell you, Harry, I love everybody. I love you. I love you, man. I love every religion, every political view, racial, genetics. And there's certain special. And Deborah's one of those. Best friends for 30 years. Even sometimes you have miscommunications. But you always get over if you work with your heart and you go back to that truth. And sometimes the truth can be crazy. But teamwork. Deb and I built Entertainability Empire Today. That wasn't a 2-person thing. A whole customer service department. That wasn't my department. I just kind of took them over because they needed some steering in the right direction. Wasn't my job, but to make the company a success, I made sure to work as not just me, not just the customer service, not just the installers, not just the salespeople, the team, just like around America. Everybody's a team, right? You got that should be a team. You got the community you live in. That's kind of a team, right? At church, I mean, they're my team. Your state, that's your team. And their country, that's your team. And really, but they call me America's friend. It's a cool nickname because I get free business advice. And I'll give it, if somebody in my pocket, I'm not going to charge them a penny. right? If it's somebody who's a really small business, a penny. If it's an entrepreneur, I'm not going to charge them the millions of dollars that I can charge a company. They can't afford that, but they still deserve the American dream to them for free or for what they can afford. Because really, don't we all want to pay? I pay my taxes, it's but teamwork, business or small business, work together, know your strengths and know where others. Then I'm going to jump over to setting goals and setting a realistic timeline. Because saying that you want a bestseller, wow, that you don't just instantly happen. I wrote a bestseller in years, and it was done after, like, I don't know, 2 years or something. I think it was 4 years before it was ready to be published, because I couldn't figure the final piece. And that was, I saw the movie Momentum and realized, oh, if I take the last chapter, put it at the beginning, then the story's really cool. And that's what made it sellable. But it took me a couple years. The story was done. It took me a couple years to figure out that final piece. So set your goals. You don't achieve goals unless you set them. You don't become a success by accident. So set your goals, but set them realistically. And then we're going to talk, adapt. Things happen. If you have your plan set in stone and the stock market crashes, well, that's everything. And if you ignore that and just stick to the plan without adapting, that's like driving blind. That's like closing your eyes and just praying that you're going to get there. And I believe in prayer, my man, but I don't think that I think you're going to get in that car accident, and I'm going to pray you don't die. So my tip to you, don't drive with your eyes closed. And, then we're jumping to, I know you asked for 5, but I'm going to give you 6. So the 5th one is be realistic. There's a brand, constant contact, communication devices in public relations, and a bunch of chambers of commerce did the branding for them. If you've ever heard of in Woodstock, Illinois, they did the Woodstock. Woodstock is where they filmed the movie with the great Bill Murray and directed by Harold Ramis, who dear loves of my life, Marie.
Follow us for more interviews with world's most influential, audacious entrepreneurs that overcame challenges and adversity, providing you with the blueprint of how they sold their first million so you can grow your business exponentially.